Thank you very much. Mark, you want your notes?
Yeah.
I think you used them.
Yeah. I spent a lot of time writing.
Oh, thank you. I thought she got the award.
We have one for you too.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming tonight. I really appreciate it. This means the world to me. They said that when I receive the reward, I have to make some comments, and so I wrote down a few thousand words. So I'm going to use the opportunity to thank some people, but also to make a few points. So let me kind of start with, when I think of events like this, and it takes you, events like this take you back. You inevitably think about history. Maybe it's because there's more history than there is future, but you think back on those people that are most important to you. And it always amazes me what sticks in your memory. I've never been one for a lot of details in kind of the past. My sister, who's here tonight, can remember such detail about when we went to a dance or when we did this or we played, we were getting in trouble. She would get me in trouble all the time. I didn't know how to get in trouble. But certain things stick in your mind, and it's kind of funny to remember the things that do. With me, the most vivid memories are those that I'm most humbled by. When I meet someone, see someone, get to know someone who is so much better at what they're doing, and through a very subtle way and direct way makes you better. Certainly, by a few teachers I remember, my first boss at IBM, Stephanie, every day, and you think back to some of these things. But I've never been so humbled, seriously, as I was last week, and I think all of you can relate to it, with the passing of a great man, Steve Jobs. A loss that affected the world as much as any few individuals in the last 100 years. Many of our kids were the ones that informed us. I know RJ called me, "Dad, did you hear?" Those of us that knew Steve, I'm sure were asked many times how we felt. I know I was. He attended our wedding, Stephanie and I's wedding. And when I was asked how I felt, I said to one person, simply inadequate. Just simply inadequate. I feel like I've accomplished nothing compared to what this man has accomplished. What it must feel like to touch everybody in the world like he did. And why can't we all be that good? My most vivid memory going back in time was of my father. He was a Depression-era World War II veteran that worked very, very hard. He was a project engineer. He was always traveling, always working around the world on rolling mills in the steel industry. He designed a few rolling mills that he has his name on to this day. So when I think of my father back then, I think of how he worked. He enrolled in Carnegie Mellon University. I did not attend Carnegie Mellon University, but he enrolled in Carnegie Tech in those days, and he was looking forward to going to be the first person in our family to go to college. And his father gambled away his freshman tuition. So he went to work, and he enrolled in night school. And he was in night school for 15 plus years. So I remember my father basically working all day when he was in town, having dinner with us, and then going upstairs, Carol, remember? Going upstairs and studying all night. I was jealous of my best friend in those days where his father was in sports and hunting and doing a number of things with him. But what my father passed to me was much greater. And of course, I didn't know at the time. Lesson number one was hard work. I know a lot of people say to me, Ray, why do you work so hard? Why, at this point in your life, do you work so hard? And I don't have a good answer. I love it, but I think it's because it's there. It's a mission. It's just to be done. Secondly, he put his heart into everything. And I didn't know until Jerry, many years later, where he got the statement, "My heart is in the work," which was the manifesto of Andrew Carnegie. And he put his heart into everything. I remember when he bought a 65 Mustang and it was a convertible, and he had the top down in the middle of the winter in Pittsburgh. He was so proud of that car, but everything was with a passion. And thirdly, my dad just gave me one of the biggest thrills of my life. Excuse me. Now was to do the right thing. Whenever you have to make a decision, do the right thing. Don't take a shortcut. Don't do the easy thing. Do the right thing. So it was a great gift that he gave me. And it is where, if anyone asked me today, who am I, why do I do what I want to do, that's it. It came from him. So let me, I've got so many pages here. I wanted to say so much tonight. So let me say, because I don't want to be this long. Let me take one final story about Dad. He caught me, many of you probably have a story similar to this, but he caught me sneaking a pack of cigarettes one time. And I didn't smoke, but I wanted to. I was 15 or 16 years old. And this was the kind of man he was. When he discovered that I had taken the pack of cigarettes, he sat me down at supper. And he offered me a cigarette. He didn't tell me he had caught me. He offered me a cigarette, and he said, have one, do it. And I said, I felt totally embarrassed. So I said, well, yeah, I'll have one. And so I lighted it up. He taught me how to smoke that cigarette. Ironically, he died when I was 19 of lung cancer. He taught me how to smoke that cigarette. And he says, now, you're free to smoke whenever you want, as long as you smoke in front of me. And he taught me a lesson for the rest of my life, that it was much better to commit the crime, but do it in public if you're going to do it, and be open. And when in business, I've learned that if I want to negotiate or deal with somebody else, always from the front, never from the back. And I got it from him. I was very lucky to grow up as a baby boomer. I was in the first year of the baby boom generation. It's a time that I don't think will ever repeat. It was an amazing development period for America. But the next 20 years pose big challenges, I'm afraid, for our country. Major challenges that we're just starting to see the beginning of. I personally have lost all faith in our government to get us out of the quagmire. I've put all of my faith in the Church of Silicon Valley. This is an amazing place. It is one horse pulling a huge wagon right now alone, and will continue to do it. American innovation is amazing, and the cradle of American innovation is right here. The burden on our industry is to pull our country through, no less than that. If we continue to invest in our top research universities, we continue to invest in our top entrepreneurs, we'll be fine. It is this place we live in that does it. It's impossible to copy our American research universities. It is impossible to copy the magical formula that's sitting here in Silicon Valley. When I was in my 40s, I aspired to run one of the great technology companies in our industry. Hell, they told me on day one when I went to IBM that I would be CEO someday. I believed it. John, you believed it too, right? 300,000 other people believed it as well. But it's what I thought I always wanted to do until I was introduced to venture capital. I had no idea what it was. And I fell in love with another profession. I don't think if I were in my 40s, I would fall in love with venture capital. I think I'd still want to run something. But it's an amazing thing to be in venture capital in your 60s. Venture capital in your 40s is a great job, and it's a great way to make money. It's a great way to fund entrepreneurs. In your 60s, it's a mission. It's a mission to find more Steve Jobses. That's what it is. No less than to find more Steve Jobs. And it is a great way to do it. So I want to turn this back on you a little bit. And I want to thank Henrik Fisker. Henrik, stand up. Henrik, as the video said, I met Henrik about 4 years ago, and he's probably produced more arguments with my partners and I than I could ever count, because I said, let's fund a capital-intensive car company. And as Brooke has often told me, this is not venture capital, right? And he's right. But it's been a passion, and Henrik has done it. Our target is to have 2,000 of these cars on the road by the end of this year, 12,000 on the road by next year. We have built an American automotive manufacturer right under the eyes of GM, Ford, Chrysler, Fiat, Toyota, all the rest of them. And it is an amazing thing to be a part of. Difficult? Yes, but an amazing thing to be a part of. Sandy. Stand up, Sandy. Sandy Kursick. Thank you for going back to work. Sandy was the founder and CEO of Ask, and was a famous company in the manufacturing software arena, built to go public and tremendous reputation. And Sandy has done it again, has gone back on Force.com and has built an easy-to-use manufacturing application that takes all the hairball out of software implementations. 2 weeks to install it. Everybody uses it. It's just great. Thank you, Sandy. And I want to thank Ashok. Stand up, guys. Ashok, Lloyd, and Fabio, Jasvir. These are CEOs I work with. They're all driven by one thing: excellence. Doing something that no one's done before. Producing a higher quality, producing a simpler result, producing a miracle every single day. And it's unbelievable. I get to pal along. I get to, you know, I take credit for Hendricks Designs all day long, okay? I parked the car right out front of the hotel, or the club. It is an amazing thing to watch them work. They're all inspired, I'm sure, by Steve. They're all inspired. And it's not a secret what attracted me to them. Hard work, heart in the work, and doing the right thing. They all are that quality of human being. I'm not being successful being short, so why HP? Meg and I both agree it's very simple. HP matters. If I believe and you believe in this valley as the engine of growth for America in the next 20 years, then you have to look at its history and you have to give credit to HP. It just matters. Meg's got other things to do. I have other things to do. It is because it matters. It's synonymous with the mysterious magic that goes on in this valley. Yeah, for a while, it lost its way. Maybe even sold its soul to Wall Street. But I will tell you, Meg plans to restore the old HP. The tech industry is full of young people that work extremely hard, but we need to learn to give back. We're still a young industry. Wealth is created at a young age. We don't know what to do with wealth when it's earned in our 30s and 40s. We haven't had a time to learn how to give it away. So I have the privilege of working with a couple of institutions that I dearly love, and I've worked with them for 15 years or more. The first is Carnegie Mellon, one of America's great educational institutions. It was Churchill who said, "A well-educated population is the cornerstone of democracy." He also said, education is too important to leave to the politicians. But that's what we've done. You've all seen the rankings. America has fallen in the rankings in education. The average 15-year-old ranks 15th or 16th in the world. In science, 17th, 18th. In math, 25th in the world. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. So the next time you're thinking of writing a check, as you all do, to a politician, instead, double it and give that money to an educational project. And better yet, reread Randy Pausch's The Last Lecture and triple it. Jerry Cohen, Carnegie Mellon, say hello to everybody. Jerry is 15 years the president of Carnegie Mellon, has done wonderful, wonderful things. All right, where am I here? Tim, you're coming up here. Okay. I wouldn't be a whole person without my involvement in Special Olympics. I didn't know what I was getting into. I met Tim in Davos. He asked me if I'd be interested in working with Special Olympics. I said, honestly, like most people, didn't know exactly what it was. It was uncomfortable for me. It was unfamiliar to me. It was, I love Tim. I said, yeah, Tim, you've convinced me. You're a great salesman, but what am I joining? And it wasn't until I took my daughter, Carrie, stand up, Carrie. I took my daughter, Carrie, to North Carolina to the '99 World Games. and it kind of hit home to me. She helped explain it to me, what we're doing. Steve, you were at those games. It was about dignity. It was about inclusion. It was about not isolating and making people feel like they belong in a different place. It wasn't, yeah, sports was the vehicle, but it was a movement for inclusiveness. And it affected Carrie deeply because she's now the, what do you call it, the head administrator, director, poobah, director of the Rise School in Dallas, a school for intellectually challenged kids. Amazing, amazing story. So finding this human spirit and achievement, I owe to Tim Shriver. Tim? Okay, you've already met Stephanie, but I wanted you to meet her. So Steph, stand up. Please, again. This is still puppy love after 15 years, and people at Oracle kind of watched it all happen, and it's been an amazing ride. She's my soulmate, and every word that Marc said is absolutely true. I do owe it all to her. I'd like you to meet this table here. So, Carol, this is my sister, the bravest woman I've ever met. Stand up, Carol. I'd like you to meet my 3 oldest daughters. You've already met Carrie. Kelly, stand up. And Christy. Now, I'm not going to introduce the whole table, if you don't mind. I won't go around the whole table, but I want you to meet RJ and Tori. So RJ, stand up. RJ, turn around. Turn around. Say hello. So RJ is 12 years old. He now has a larger shoe size than me. Amazing. I can't, I don't know where it's going from here, how big your feet can get. And RJ is like me. He doesn't know how to get into trouble. He grows up just like me, doesn't know how to get in trouble. Right behind him is his leader. And it will get him in trouble all day long. I love you guys. I love you guys. One final word. When you're next grousing about Washington or Sacramento, place your faith like I have in the Church of Silicon Valley. This is an amazing place. Place your faith in the confidence and your confidence in the young people, the entrepreneurs, the 20-year-olds, the 30-year-olds who are coming next. A lot of us have had our shot. It's now mandatory we help this next generation. Help America's research institutions. Jerry, we're Stanford crazy here, as you know. So it's, yeah, Stanford. It's good quarterback. Good quarterback. and get behind the organizations that reignite the human spirit like Special Olympics does. If you do this, I guarantee you my dad will be speaking to you all. Work hard, put your heart in the work, do the right thing. Thank you very much.